Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighbor Jaxblade is back with the final Make 2018 Your Year video. Covering this, I hope this series has helped you out, just giving you all these tips to make you stronger, better, faster, sexier, whatever you want to do. Just like letting this make the tips easier, just making everything like so you can go into 2018 all the things. And this is going to be the final video of today, and honestly, it's the most important one because not enough people do this. Now, all through my YouTube career, I've always made it very clear I'm more about helping people become healthy and fit and stronger instead of just, you know, looking aesthetic, because looks is a great part of it. I'm not gonna lie, it's really awesome when you take your shirt off or you do whatever you gotta do or just show that you put in such hard work that your body now promotes that. But not enough people take into account like the health aspect, the physical fitness aspect, or the just mental health aspect, which is what we're going to talk about today. And I take that very, very seriously because not enough people take the mental health thing seriously or don't know what people go through on a daily basis, and it really just messes with folks. Nowadays, we live in a world where we are always, whether we want to be or not, just constantly judged, okay? If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, like a bunch of public people can see you. Before, it was like just MySpace and Facebook or something like that. So these were people you actively let into your life and comment on you. But nowadays, you just got so many people just watching you or commenting you or just like being in school with you, just like posting things about themselves, that it can be sort of overwhelming if you're not, you know, prepped for it. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Sometimes it is a bit taxing. Like I've talked to friends about this, and I've talked to other people about this as well, where you do so much stuff that you're proud of, but since so many people can judge you for it or comment like it's not as great as this person, it can actually get to you. So for example, there are tons of great, you know, fitness people on YouTube, and then there are tons of people who you know, do drugs on YouTube. I don't have a problem if someone chooses to do drugs if they're honest about it, but there are people on there who do, you know, drugs and then they like, you know, promote, oh, I'm, you know, natty and stuff like that. But then there are people who don't take drugs and just built an incredible physique through either, you know, just hard work and effort, or they just have the genetics for it, something like that. And then people will just like say, oh, you're on drugs or something like that. And it's just a thing that gets to you mentally or something like that. So, or if you're just trying to start out with YouTube, or if you're just trying to be on social media and you post a picture of your body like getting better, now just because you don't have like the rippling 8-pack yet, then other people are going to just start mocking you and say, well, you know, you don't look nowhere near as good as this person. Or they might say like, oh, look at me, I like have naturally cut abs, so I'm already better than you because I have way better physique than you and I don't have to work at it and stuff like that. And those little comments like may not mean much to some people, but it like actually build up on a person's psyche. Now, I've mentioned this before in past videos, so I apologize in advance if I'm reiterating stuff, but I noticed for myself personally that I do go through some stuff. Like people always see me and they're like, oh, you're so happy and optimistic and kind and cheery, and it's just like, I'm happy because I'm not in a situation, because I've been through crap. I've been through a lot of crap in my life, so it's one of those things where I could either be, you know, salty and angry at the world, or I can just be like, ah, well, my life isn't that crappy anymore, so I can be happy and, you know, optimistic and like realize, you know, life isn't that bad or anything like that, and you know, just enjoy day by day. So that's what I do for me. But there are times when, you know, I'm only human, guys. I get down just like everyone else, and like I mentioned before, I have this injury in my elbows, something like that, elbow tendonitis. And I also had the, you know, torn shoulder thing, and I couldn't train properly for weeks. And when I couldn't train properly, that really just affected like my mental state for a bit, because I was just like, I don't know what to do. I feel helpless. Like my knees started aching on me too. So I was just like, oh my God, what the heck's wrong with me? And then I started getting into this dark place I didn't want to go. And usually I meditate, but I stopped meditating for those days because I don't know, I was just so down and out of it. And so I was like in a place where I just was not feeling good. And it's a little buildup of things. It's a little buildup of little things that do that. And then you see people like berating you or something like that, saying like, oh, you're not that great, you're not that, you know, appealing, like why do you have so many subscribers, something like that. And then like any other time, you know, because I'm meditating, it's just like, I feel, you know, good. But other times it's just like, wow, it could just catch you on that one day, and it's just like, damn, dude. And it just affects you mentally, because I remember, like I said, I have high standards for myself. Like I believe when I worked my ass off to get my body, I was like, wow, I really want to put in work. Like all the people I admired growing up like had these big, strong, athletic physiques, and I'm just like, I want to be like that whatsoever. But then it's just like, oh, body's not listening, okay, torn shoulder, messed up elbow, messed up knee, or some messed up lower back, or something effed up that always gets in the way. And it's just like, you try to be the best you can be. You try to be the best you can be day after day and day after day. And then you work there, and then you get there slowly, but then someone will say like, oh, you're not as great as so-and-so, or you're not as great as this person right here, and they've been working out less than you. Oh, I've been working out longer than you, something like that. And then that little things, they start to build up and they get into people's heads. And I'm not the only one who, goes through this. I was actually had a very big talk with a few of my friends who also do, YouTube stuff, and they were saying like how sometimes it can get to them, and that how mental health is just something you really have to take care of, because there are some things where people will, get so stressed out because people are just comparing them or making them feel like crap about themselves. And it's different if you're being, lazy. It's different if you're like, oh, well, I can't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna be lazy, and someone calls you on that. I think that's great, because it's like, okay, you're, motivating them to get back to doing it. But if you're just being a jerk or something about that, while someone is generally trying their hardest and they just can't because they'll re-damage something or something like that, then that's where the mental health thing starts to come in. That actually makes a few people want to do like steroids or something like that, or take drugs, or do something that's just not healthy for their body to make themselves better and stronger. And it's a horrible process and thought process. And I was surprised that so many people I know actually go through this on a daily basis. Like, I follow so many fitness tumblers as well, and I talk to a few of them, and they tell me like, yeah, sometimes I just want to be better, and I just think to myself, would this help me faster, or like would that just hindrance me? And I just want that to get into your head, guys. Now, surprisingly, a lot of people you think are just like the epitome of like, oh great, oh they're never stressed out, they never do that. That's actually a misconception. There are tons of people who are fitness or look great, or like celebrity whatsoever, where they are so stressed out, but they know how to appeal like, oh, I'm good, I'm great all the time. And that does put a false identity. So like, for example, dieting is a very stressful thing, like especially if you're a fitness model, because I have tons of friends who are fitness models, because you have to be on point on contest day, just look as great as possible, and if you aren't, then you're losing a paycheck. So that's very stressful. Or people who want to go to the beach, and they start their diet in January because they want to look really great at the beach, and then when they get there, they always notice, well, I have to be ready by May, and I'm just go, oh well, I can be let myself slack, it's May, I can let myself slack, it's February, I can let myself slack, it's March, a bit. And then when the last few weeks come, that's when they start to stress out and start trying to do all this extra stuff, and they actually start damaging themselves more because they just are so stressed out. Like, stress actually lets you retain fat. It actually does that. Like, being so stressed out and like not taking care of your mental health, and it's a thing that a lot of fitness folks go through on a daily basis. Like, for instance, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me about his personal stresses, and one thing that is a bit sad that I go through is a bit of isolation, because if you're the fit friend of the group, like sometimes you can't talk to your other friends. For example, I love talking to my friends, but they're night owls, and I have to, wake up, go early to the gym, like train clients, do all this stuff, and I can't stay up that late, or else it will mess with my like goals and stuff like that. And that's not a great thing, because it's just like, oh, I can't sleep enough anyways. Like, I just fixed my sleep schedule last week, because I always have a problem with sleep. I've said this before, like if I had like an epitome of like getting a great sleep schedule, my body would look way better than it does now, and I'd probably be way healed. But I have stress issues at night, and I can't sleep properly, and I found out other people have those issues and talk to them about it, and they actually help me tremendously. And there's also this whole thing of being so overly strict with your diet can take a mental toll on you as well, because like I've had people tell me they went to Italy and didn't touch any of the food there because they were so focused on their diet. And that's something I don't want people to ever do. Like, our life is so short. Life is so incredibly short. So if you're visiting someplace like Italy or Rome or like whatever, and the food is delicious and great, and you're trying to focus on a diet, like, it's okay to just go and feed every now and then. Like, don't get into your mind that you can't eat properly whatsoever. It's just what you do consistently that counts. So if you just want to have 2 days or a week off of just feeding, go right ahead and then just get right back into it. But don't stress out over it too much. Remember, life is so short. You want to enjoy these experiences. And it's just a thing that I really want to emphasize, that all of us go through mental stress. Like, so many people you don't expect go through mental stress, go through stress on a daily basis of just like, oh, I have to look this certain way. Oh, I got to look this way or this girl won't like me. Or I want to appeal to this person. Or if I have a better body, I can get more jobs and stuff like that. And they just like let themselves get stressed out. And that's like being the opposite of fitness and health. Like that's the opposite, and that's something you want to avoid at all costs. But the thing I really want you guys to get into your head is just like mental health is important. Like it's important to always just, what helped me was, you know, talking to people of mutual interest, or talking to my friends, talking to my family, and then just realizing, you know, all of us are different. We're like I always say, everybody is different and reacts differently to different situations. So it's very important for you to take care of yourself. So like also, what I mean by mental health in general is just keeping your brain nice and healthy. Like read books occasionally. Like remember this, you're always gonna have this. Like your body, once you get older, may not be able to do the things you did when you were 20. Like your best at 30 may not be your, well no, your best at 40 may not be your best at 30, but as long as you're doing the best you could be, then that's all that really matters. And like really be sure to keep your brain nice and healthy. Like read books. Like I'm being serious about this now. A lot of people read books or maintain good brain activity. It's just like in a world of, oh, that's some BS, man, that's some BS. And then when you get into old age, they're the ones that are just like not all there, and it's really sad to see. And then, you know, it's one of those things, you just really, it's important to me because I know so many people, I've like lost friends because they've gone through mental health issues that they just couldn't talk to someone about. And I think that's just of utmost importance, of just finding someone to talk to, or just looking online for people going through the same issues you are going through, or just, and this doesn't have to be fitness or anything related, just be anything you're going through. Just be sure to take care of your brain and just talk to someone, or like be able to communicate, because that's so important. And then, you know, like I said in my in my meditation video, like meditation helps me a lot, just helps me focus, helps me become centered and zen. And actually, like there are tons of scientific benefits showing that meditation helps a lot, and I did explain it better in that video, so check it out for this. But don't ever feel bad that someone's, you know, getting better results than you, whether that be in their job, their school, stuff like that. Just work on improving yourself to the best of your ability, because, you know, we're all different. It doesn't matter. Like, I want you to know your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health is just as important as your physical health. And not enough people talk about that. They say it's just different. Like, people go through depression. Like, there's so many people who go through depression on a day-to-day basis, but they still, you know, are the happiest, kindest people and a thing. And it's just, it's sad that they have to go through that. But I just want you guys to know you're not alone, all right? There are people going through pain and stuff like that on a daily basis. So don't ever feel like you're just isolated in that instance. Like, there are people you can talk to, there are people you can find online or like communicate with, or go to a little help group, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? Just focus on improving day by day, get to 1% better each day, and then just think of like a year from now, you'll be so much better with what you're able to accomplish. But again, I know I'm probably reiterating, but it's just so important that you take care of your mental health, you know. So read, be able to hang out with your friends or something like that. If you don't have that many friends, try going on to online forums and just seeing like people who have mutual interests, stuff like that. And it's completely fine. It's completely fine. But don't get so stressed out and feel like you're all alone in this world, because we all do. We all go through things, like I told you before in several videos. Like, anyways, this video is probably out earlier than the other ones because it's just basically me talking to y'all. And I hope this Make 2018 Your Year series has been helpful, informative, and, you know, be sure to talk in the comments. Like, if you have any personal issues you're going through, like, that is so beneficial to people who don't realize. Like, if you're going through something right now, or you like family problems or any issues or whatsoever, like you feel you're not good enough, or you feel I just don't have the mental strength for it. Because there's a thing, people will misconstrue like, okay, doing this is weakness. And I'll say this to you, if you're like, this is something I'll be honest about. Don't like post a video of you crying in public, in my opinion. That's just not a good look whatsoever, because while your friends and family will care for you, there are a bunch of other people seeing you, you know, cry. Like, it's different if you're like tearing up over something. Like, and me, I've teared up over like several things. It was like, that was just touching, that was beautiful. But I mean, if you're generally crying like, oh, my life is so hard, blah, 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 I believe you should either do that with people who care for you in your own right, or people in your own like room or something like that. Yeah, basically like in the privacy of your own room. Like, it's completely fine to do that. Like, I would not do it in other people, because when you do that, you put your weakness on display for everyone to see, and people can take advantage of that, and just, you know, it's not fun. Okay, it's not fun. But if you're just doing something like, okay, that touched me, that's completely fine. But Yes, I just want to talk to you. Hope this Make 2018 your year series is great. Don't feel alone. You got this. Stay gold. Remember, like I always say, keep calm. Booyah on. Don't forget, Moment High. I'm gonna get ready for my birthday on December 31st. I'm about to be 27 years old and gotta drive up to see my boy Saber Spark and Paleo Steno, and we're all gonna go have fun. But I hope these have been helpful and informative, and you know, just have a great year. Have a great new year, guys. All right? And remember what I said in the first video of this Make 2018 your year. If you want to hire me for online coaching / personal training, then just email me at jdownsfitness@gmail.com. I'll make you super, just saying. But right now, I'm gonna go hang out with my bros and, you know, have a good time for my birthday on December 31st. But keep calm, booyah, and don't forget Moment High. And peace out. Have a great new year.